The other advantage we had with our children was the years we spent in education, and that is we had all the summers together. So our children, while we were still involved with church work over the summers, the children were always able to be with us. We carried them with us where we went. So they've been very much saturated in church work, and we're able to understand where we were going, and we would explain to them what we had to do. And so they grew up with that in them. So they grew up around church. If they had to sleep in the benches, they slept, but they were there, and we thank God for them and for their understanding, their sacrifice of what we did in order to be who they are today and who we are today. I thank God that we have now two of our children who are involved with pastoral work themselves, and others who are involved in one way or another in church work.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Faisal Forbes. This is ZNS.
Welcome to What's Trending, the show keeping you in the know with all that's happening in lifestyle and entertainment. I'm your host, Stacey Campbell Marshall. The mass deportation plan, which former President Donald Trump has pledged, comes with a heavy price tag. The American Immigration Council estimates that it could cost $88 billion annually to deport 1 million people a year. The removal of millions of construction, hospitality, and agriculture workers could reduce the U.S. gross domestic product by $1.7 trillion. American Airlines is trialing new technology at airports to track down gate lice. You know, those people who hang around the airport gate before their designated boarding time. Passengers who attempt to board before their assigned group has been called will set off an error beep alerting the gate agent. The line cutters will be sent back to board with their rightful group. So pay attention to the group number on your boarding pass to avoid embarrassment. And over 48 pounds of cheddar cheese worth 300,000 pounds were stolen in a scam. The cheese was taken from a dairy company by a con artist posing as a wholesale distributor for a major French retailer. Detectives at Scotland Yard and international authorities are searching for the culprits. International cheesemongers are asked to be on the lookout for the stolen cheese, especially posh cheese going for a cheap price. We have quite a lineup for you today. Is there an interest in social media influencing? Stick around for expert advice. We are also hearing from Leah with Food for Thought, and the Bahama Beauty is back with the social media buzz this past week. This and so much more after the break.
Speaking at a graduation ceremony for lifeguards in Exuma, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, brought attention to the importance of trained lifeguards, not only for the safety of beachgoers, but also for the security of the nation's #1 industry.
So let me say that yes, this is a job for some, but for others it's a recognition that we must protect our residents and our tourists. And oftentimes the motivation is to place you in jobs in the tourism industry. But I want you to recognize that we are also looking to see how we can place lifeguards on public beaches. Certainly in New Providence, you have Junkanoo Beach and the Goodman's Bay that attract tens of thousands of visitors a year. And I know that we have some very popular beaches here as well, especially during the busy season, including the Tropic of Cancer, Jolly Hall Beach, and of course Big Bay and Forbes Hill, and a few others. And we must look to see whether this is feasible as well for our own beaches. So this is more than just a job. It's about enhancing the safety and security of our visitors. And importantly, it is about saving lives. But beyond that, it's about protecting the integrity and reputation of our country. I congratulate you and urge you to continue to go higher, press forward, and always keep sending the word that tourism indeed is everyone's business.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Social media influencers are impacting the world as they garner huge followings. Through their platforms, they are changing the opinions of a vast number of audiences, their behavior, and even purchasing decisions. In studio to discuss influencing in the Bahamas is Tracy Ann Perpall, better known as TAP. Welcome to the show,
Thank
TAP.
you, Stacey. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for carving time out of your busy schedule to be here. So listen, tell me how you became an influencer. What was that journey like?
So from a very young age, actually, I have a very distinct memory. When I was 8 years old, I would be in my room recording radio shows on cassette tapes. And from when I was young, I always had a passion for creating, expressing myself, music, drama, art. And so one day, in the early days of Facebook, I had posted a video expressing my opinion, and a lot of people responded so positively, and they were like, do more, do more, do more. And that's kind of how it began. I just started posting more and more and letting my creativity out. I started doing skits eventually and like a lot of dramatizations, and it's just evolved over the years a lot for me and given me a lot of opportunities to write, produce, host, and so it's been an amazing journey, honestly.
And so, like, this is what you do full-time
Yes,
now. but
full-time, 24/7.
Back in the day,
Yes.
what was your, professional aspiration? What did you think, this is what I want to do?
Honestly, like I said, I've always been passionate about being creative. To be quite honest, I always had the desire in my heart to be out there on stage and movies and those sort of things. But in the Bahamas, it kind of seemed like a pipe dream. So when people would ask me like, oh, what do you want to be? I'd be like, oh, a lawyer? Because people used to say, oh, you talk a lot. You should be a lawyer. I always used to get 22s on my report card. Talks too much.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I guess I'll be a lawyer. And then that kind of morphed into, I'll be a journalist, because journalists get to be on camera and then I realized, no, that's not really what I want. Like, I need to chase what I'm truly passionate about. Yeah.
So in this business, I know there are a lot of growing pains.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Like, it doesn't just happen overnight. Whether people think, one video is really popular or goes viral, and then all of a sudden. But let's talk about those growing pains.
Oh my God, growing pains. Well, firstly, I think one of the first major growing pains was making the decision to do this full time and explaining that to my family and my loved ones, who obviously they care about you. They want you to be a stable individual. And so explaining to people that, no, this isn't just some little hobby, some little ha-ha, hee-hee. I am really passionate about this. It takes a lot of not just creativity, but strategy and a lot of resilience. And so that was the first hurdle. And just in general, getting persons to take me seriously, because again, when I first came out, I was like 19, and TikTok didn't exist yet. Like, people weren't getting paid to do this. And so having to carve at that space where, hey, I'm a professional, I'm an expert. Yes, I'm a fun person, but this is real work and I know what I'm doing. So being able to represent myself and fight for the things that I wanted and needed. And definitely also being a woman, showing up online in different spaces and how you're received, especially in my case, where very early on I did like a lot of social commentary, and not everything I said people are gonna like or love. So dealing with response, and how do you react to that, and how do you carry yourself confidently, knowing that maybe you're a little polarizing by what you say online. So there's definitely been a lot of ups and downs, but I'm at the point where I would not change a thing. I'm so grateful for my journey and where God has taken me. I can't complain.
That has to be a really good feeling. So how has the reception been from your Bahamian audience?
Honestly, I will say this. Bahamians, I love us. I think we are our hardest critic, our own hardest critics, but I think it's done with love. Like, we expect a lot from one another. And honestly, I don't run away from that, because I always say, people just say, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And I'm like, no, if you can make it in the Bahamas as a creative. And so I feel like being here, at first it was very tough. It was very confusing because I was like, maybe I should be in New York or LA but I think to be able to prove myself in this market and the love that I receive, I will say I receive so much love, like when I go out in my DMs and my comments. And so I feel like it's kind of like Bahamians do show a lot of love. I think it's this narrative people have where it's like, crabs in a barrel. I mean, people have shown me so much love. If they didn't, I wouldn't have been able to do this full time because I have had to prove to, sponsors that the reason you can invest in me is because I have an audience behind me. Right. So I would not be where I am without the support of Bahamians, especially Bahamian women. I'm really grateful for it. And I am grateful for the criticism that I've gotten too because it's, no one's perfect and not everything that I've put out there has been perfect. And I started when I was 19, okay? I'm in my 30s now. So I had to learn and grow and I appreciate the criticism, the feedback. It's made me a more well-rounded person and I'm just grateful for all of it. But a lot of love from Bahamians and I love them right back and I'm sending out all the love to everyone who rolls with me and who supports me. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Good. So what would you consider to be your breakthrough moment? So, you watch these influencers who have skyrocketed and it was like this one video or this one moment that kind of took them there. What would you consider that to be for you?
The thing is, I feel like I'm still striving. I've never felt like I've arrived, but if I had to pinpoint, I would say when I was in my YouTube era, I created this skit with this puppet that I found at my church. It was called Shaniqua. And I think that's when I started to really go super viral in the Bahamas. When I would do the sketches with the puppet, it was like a lot of political commentary about relationships in the Bahamas. And so that kind of catapulted me in this community here. But I'm still always striving. I don't feel like I've arrived. I don't feel like there's so much more for me to do. And so I constantly have that mindset, never settle, never get comfortable, you're only as good as your last project. Yeah.
True. So what are you focusing on now? What are some of the opportunities in the local market that you're focusing on?
So right now, there's one side of my business where, I'm known as TAP and I'm working with brands and promoting them and creating exciting storytelling and authentic storytelling because that's really important to me, not to just sell to people. I think my goal in this life is to empower or facilitate the process of empowerment, especially for Bahamian women and girls. So that's really important to me. I'm really at a point where I'm getting more involved in my social activism again. So I recently partnered with the Willa Mae Pratt School for Girls at their career day. So it's very important for me to, be a mentor to younger women. And also I have my social media management company, Contentment Social. That's a part of being a content creator that people don't see that's also very lucrative, which is I create content and manage brands social media platforms. So right now I'm just focused on growing my business, taking my brand to another level and using the resources and the access I have to send the elevator back down to Bahamian women and girls who may not have had the opportunities that I've had.
Nice. So what advice would you give to someone out there who's like, I want to be an influencer? What's the advice that you would give them?
My advice, oh my God, be prepared for a lot of sleepless nights. It is a lot of work. I think people underestimate this. Don't do this unless you're passionate about it, unless you have a love for communicating, sharing, storytelling, a love for people. Don't do it if you're just trying to go viral or be popular because I think any creative you talk to, you'll have those months where, oh my God, every video is hitting 100K. And then you have months where it seems like no one cares for you. Like you getting 1,000 views on a video, 5 views, it ain't, but you keep going because you're in it for the love. You have a message, you have an ethos, you have something that you're passionate about. So have that passion. Number 2, consistency. And I think this applies for any field you're in. You can't just pick it up today and then not do it tomorrow because you're not seeing the results. Just how you have to go in the gym and work that muscle for weeks and months and years to see a result, it's the same in social media. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Even the people that you see that go viral overnight, there's no such thing. They were probably doing that from a young age. I was at 8 years old recording those little radio shows. So you have to be consistent. And I would say be confident and be brave. You literally cannot give a bleep about what people have to say about you. Be willing to put yourself out there to brands, to businesses. Don't just be someone that's resting on your laurels and waiting for people to give you an opportunity. You have to be a go-getter. Knock on doors. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid to be seen trying or to ask for support or ask for sponsorships and brand deals. And that would be my advice.
Good, good. So we have an actual demonstration coming up with TAP for you, so stay with us. You're watching What's Trending.
JBI. Thank you for providing quality products for the Bahamian table for over 30 years. I really love all your products, but my favorite is the kidney bean with coconut milk. I use this with my peas and rice. I use it in my vegetable soup. I use it in my pea soup and dumpling. I love it. It has a wonderful flavor. So, on your 30th anniversary, I just want to wish you all the best and make millions.
I absolutely love the products that you guys have. My favorite has to be the coconut water because it tastes just like coconut water at home.
Proud JBI. Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope you have another 30 years.
Thank you, Bahamas.
So TAP is back in studio with us. And TAP, let's have a real conversation. Let's talk about this whole influencer thing and how I can create the perfect pitch for a company. So, like, teach me.
Okay, well, I think I'm a self-proclaimed pitch princess.
Okay.
Like I shared with persons before, honestly, 85% of the work I get comes from pitching. So the first thing you need to have, especially if you're talking about being a content creator, social media manager, or influencer, you need to have a media kit. I'm always so shocked at how many people don't have a kit. Your kit should include your data and your analytics, which the apps provide for you. You should be able to tell a brand, well, hey, 65% of my followers are women. They are from the Bahamas, Canada, Denmark, wherever. You need to be able to be well-versed and confident in analytics and data because honestly, brands, you know, it's not RuPaul's Best Friend's race. Like, they're trying to do this to make money, and you need to be able to communicate your value. You know you're valuable, but you need to be able to communicate that so they can say, oh yeah, we should invest in this person and partner. So analytics and data is very, very important. Have that in your kit. Also, what I always include in my kit is testimonials, okay, from professionals. So if there was a brand that I worked with, I will get a testimonial from the marketing manager or the CEO of that brand if I can, where they can, you know, show that I'm reputable and vouch for me. And that makes other business persons, you know, confident and comfortable. So your data analytics, your testimonials, a brief bio of what you're all about, what your brand ethos is, and you should be well on your way.
So, you know, everyone is always worried about followers. Does follower count really matter when it, you know, comes to, you know, brand pitching?
So follower count matters to a degree. When I first started, it really was a huge indicator of whether you were impactful or not. But we've seen a shift in that in the last, I would say, 5 to 7 years, where you've seen a rise in micro influencers, where a lot of brands are actually working with people where you don't need to have 100K. I'm always telling people, you do not need 100K. You don't even need 50K to make money. You need to be strategic. You need to have a brand. You don't need to be caught up on virality or getting views. A lot of people, unfortunately, I see, they have the numbers, they have the followers, but you look at their page, I don't know what your brand is. What do you want people to think of when they see you? Is it jokes? Is it beauty? Is it like, you have to figure out what your brand is, and that's more important than followers. You need to be impactful, and you can do that as a micro-influencer. It's definitely possible. So I wouldn't say get caught up on the numbers. It's just also from a holistic place, it's not good for your mental health. Like, don't get caught up on that. Stick with your why. Why am I doing this? I want to reach people. I want to make women confident. Stick with that and focus more on being consistent in your brand and your content pillars. Have your 2 main things that you focus on until you build your audience and you can branch out. And brands see that, and they see that consistency, and they see your identity, and they work with you.
So let's do a quick sales pitch. And if I'm like approaching, you know, a possible company and, you know, I'm reaching out to them, what do I say?
Okay, so if I'm reaching out to a company, it's very important to do your research. Hopefully at this point, you've already looked and seen the type of influencers they've worked with. You've scrolled their page, you know, stalked them a little bit. I'm very big on stalking. So for
Like
business
email
purposes,
right.
so sometimes if I can't find the email or the marketing person's email, I will DM them, and I'll just send something really concise to say, hey, I'm Tap. I'm a content creator from the Bahamas that focuses on lifestyle content. I am very big on empowering women. I've worked with a plethora of brands, and I'll even name drop, so they can see that I'm credible. I've worked with these types of brands, and I've provided a lot of value to these brands through XYZ. I would love if we could talk. When you're just hitting someone up, it's like dating. Okay. On the first date, you don't just lay out every single thing, because it's going to come off too heavy and too selly. You're creating a relationship with this brand. So you just quickly communicate your content pillars, the type of brand you have, the demographic, and that you provide value. That's a buzzword that brands just love. I want to help you provide value. I want to start a relationship and see if you'd be open to collaborating. Nice. Yeah.
Tap, you are a breath of fresh air. It is nice to meet you in person and know that you're just as effervescent as you are online. So it's a pleasure. Thanks for being here. And much continued success to you. Thank you. That's What's Trending, and we will be right back.
Legacy of Leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association for Legacy Weekend, November 8th to the 9th. November 8th, Legacy Leadership Lecture, honoring global leaders. November 9th, Legacy Walk to Remember. Join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration, November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit itwla.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
Losing your furniture to costly termite damage? You need Rentokil Initials Drop and Go Furniture Fumigation, the only service like it in the Bahamas. Simply drop your furniture at a fumigation container located at 5th Terrace, Centerville, and collect your termite-free piece within days, sealed with our termite-free guarantee. Fast, convenient, affordable. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initials.
Leah is here to give us this week's Food for Thought.
To Food for Thought, your go-to segment for the freshest updates straight from the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. I'm Leah Cooper, and I'm so excited you're here with us today. Let's dive into what's trending. A crew of Bahamian pineapple farmers heads to Costa Rica, home of the world's juiciest pineapples, to soak up expert tips on perfecting their own crop game.
Stayed for a week. We visited pineapple farms from the land preparation stage to the planting and harvesting, as well as we visited organic as well as conventional pineapple operations, all the way up to export. So packing facilities, processing facilities, we're able to visit the whole value chain when it came to pineapple.
Interesting enough, though, the group also discovered that the country's climate is perfect for producing other crops.
We also visited a lot of other farms. We visited a few dairy farms, as well as black pepper farms, which is pretty interesting because we were told that our climate is very good for black pepper. I don't think anybody grows black pepper here. And we also visited a few rambutan and other types of biofertilizer and biopesticides facilities.
Overall, the farmers left Costa Rica feeling inspired.
To see the magnitude, I know a lot in the country we talk about export, but I don't think we understand a lot of what it takes to have a good export product. Costa Rica is the largest exporter of pineapple in the whole world, so it only made sense to see how the best do it. So from that trip, they're inspired to enhance their training, increase their production. Right now, they're only producing 3 months out of the year, and now hopefully with additional training, with help from the government, we can get them to a place where they're producing at least 10 to 12 months out of the year, and not just have one pineapple season, but have pineapples year-round in the Bahamas.
And that's a wrap for this bite-sized edition of Food for Thought. Stay tuned for more updates on what's growing, what's catching, and what's making waves in agriculture and marine resources. Until next time, I'm Leah Cooper, and remember to keep your plates full of fresh ideas.
Today is Monday, and to keep us in the know, the Bahama Beauty will give us the rundown of what's been happening on social media.
Bahama Beauty, and here's what's the buzz for this week. Now, I know views from this region on popular streaming services had to have come to a halt because the entire Bahamas was glued to the Murphy saga. Thankfully, there was some amicable resolution over the weekend, but this story was far from being forgotten news as Bahamians continue to center the dilemma in comedic posts. And although we probably won't be getting a Netflix special anytime soon, popular comedian Zeneo, who we've come to know as Sarge, decided to put a thrilling spin on the tale in a skit of his own.
Oh, come and let us roll. Oh, come and let us roll. Oh, come and let us roll.
Wait, what are that, what? Murphy. You the neighbor, me the neighbor, eh? Oh, this here on the windows, everything, this is mine. Right here, proof. Your auntie, uncle signed it right there.
What you wear such a big garden shirt?
Honey, if you don't come with this house, you'll be in the garden.
Wait, how to get rid of them, though? How to get rid of them?
To get rid of her, you gotta sing a song. The Talisman ain't gonna
What type of song that is, what?
Mermaid got to go. 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 Mermaid got to go.
Mermaid got to go. I coming back for this house. Remember, I got the papers.
That's your big breasts.
Your daddy.
And it didn't stop there. Bahamian music artist Solo, known for putting out songs faster than the Bush Cook could put out a new promo menu, added his touch to the situation that will surely have you banging on the walls in the club. I never thought that I'd see the day that a rendition of the American National Anthem would be botched again. At the 2018 NBA All-Star Game, former Black Eyed Peas member Fergie performed a rendition of the American National Anthem that would be remembered nearly 10 years later, but not in a good way. That was until singer Loomis showed up and gave viewers an earful at the Free and Equal Elections Foundation presidential debate.
Can I go back? Can I go back, please? I got too nervous.
TMZ caught up with the viral songstress for an exclusive explanation of what happened.
So what had happened was, I didn't know it was live, right? And then I was like, oh, say, can you see? And then I gave it like the right tone, because, you know, you got to start lower so you can get up there, you know? But then he stopped me. He was like, we're not ready yet. Oh. And I was like, what? So then I didn't know it was live, because I'm like, okay, we can go back, you know what I mean?
I think it's safe to say that was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The Nassau Cruise Port presents a Port Calypse 2. Join a night full of thrills, chills, and unforgettable fun. Are you ready to kick off Halloween in style? On Thursday, October 31st from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., get ready for some amazing costume karaoke where you can show off your talent and creativity. Remember, there are prizes for the best costumes, so make sure you strut your stuff. Ruma, the entertainer, and DJ Kenny will be there to help you unleash your...
From paradise to paradise, Bahamas Air invites you to embark on a seamless island journey from the sun-kissed coast of Nassau, the Bahamas, to the rhythmic shores of Montego Bay, Jamaica. Soar high above a turquoise tapestry on the most trusted airline in the Caribbean. Our inaugural flight takes wing on November 17th, 2024. Don't delay. Book your idyllic escape today.
Beginning Monday, September 16th, it's the new lineup of ZNS News and Current Affairs, 6 p.m. It's What's Trending, Lifestyles in the Afternoon with